Hey guys, and welcome to yet another episode on the PH Journals YouTube channel. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you to all my 540 something subscribers. Really, it means the world to me. Every little bit counts. But backed by popular demand through all my social media platforms is what I utilize out in the field as a professional hunter. What I use guiding clients in my backpack or in my vehicle, whatever the case may be. Not so much as the rifle and all of that sort of stuff, just some of the basic essentials that I use out in the veld. So I'm really excited to do this episode, and once again this episode is brought to you by PH Toolbox. I started the PH Toolbox, which we shortened it to now the Toolbox, a couple of years ago, obviously in COVID. Being a professional hunter, the borders closing, we had to improvise and supply gear that we feel was essential out in the bushveld, and so far so good. I'm really proud of what we've achieved in such a short space of time. So majority of the stuff that you see here today is you can find on the Toolbox. We do ship worldwide, so I'm really excited to get into this with you guys. And if you are, we are running a little bit of a competition for the Americans, Spanish and South African citizens. I'll be giving away 2 of these wonderful handcrafted hunting knives made from all original South African wood and handcrafted by a gentleman in Cape Town. So I'm really excited about this. All you got to do is like this episode, subscribe, and drop a comment on anything that you would suggest me using out, or which one of these was your favorite objects or that you utilize the most within the bush. Just basically starting a little bit of a discussion, and yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Hey guys, like mentioned before, this episode is brought to you by PH Toolbox. So as we go along, I will be putting in the list of items that I've got here on display in the description. But if you would like to find out more on where you guys can get your hands on them, if you can't get them in the Toolbox, so if you guys would like to find out where you can find them, please hit me up on any one of the social media platforms. We are getting, our website is in process, so I'm really excited to share with you guys my new website coming soon. But for the time being, any one of the social media, Instagram, Facebook, or even YouTube, I'll be happy to answer any questions asking. Cool. So in front of me, we've got the table laid out. Before we get started on each little piece of equipment over here, 2 of my main things that I use in carrying my gear out there is, of course, my waterproof backpack. This was gifted to me by a client. I love this backpack. It's very spacious, it's lightweight, it's got nice cushioning, as well as something that's become extremely handy, especially myself doing a lot of filmed hunts and filming myself. So when I'm hunting by myself, is all these extra little straps with the clips. This has been exceptional. I managed to pack quite a bit on the outside as far as tripods are concerned, or whatever the case may be. So yeah, this one's been wonderful. It is semi waterproof, so I love this backpack. Haven't really explored the backpack options. I'm not such a big backpack man. I like to carry light, but it's something that I've grown into, and I'm starting to utilize it a lot more these days. So yeah, I love this one. I'm actually the brand is called Timber Ridge. I'm pretty sure you can get it anywhere in the US, maybe at some of the bigger retail stores, Bass Pro, and those kind of shops. The next one was that obviously most of this goes into. I'm typically a guy that likes to over prepare myself. So when I get to the hunting destination, I don't want to be scratching around and trying to find charges and all that sort of stuff. So I try and pack more than what I actually really need. But it's helped me thus far, and I don't think I'm about to change it. So I've got a pretty much winning combination. It's these 2 camping little Tupperware situations. You can get them at any hardware store. We've got a store here in South Africa called Mumbo's. I picked these up. They're relatively cheap because I can throw them around in the back of my pickup or bakkie, and if they break, I can just easily replace them. But it's a nice hard case, very, very durable, especially when you're putting expensive equipment in here. This really helps, and it's very, very spacious. You can tear them up. So I've got 2 of these, so I like to stack them on top of one another. They're quite rigid. I just normally keep them together with a bit of octopus straps. But other than that, it's a really just a basic essential item that I really like to use, and it keeps my gear safe. So yeah, that's it for the items that I keep this hornet's nest in. So guys, starting from left to right, or my left, your guys right. Excuse me. I'm going to start with some of the more important equipment, and then moving down into stuff as far as what I pack into my gear bag, ammunition, a bit of essentials as we go along. So starting off on the left, I've got my handheld radios. These are just I'll get you the names now. Again guys, a lot of this gear hasn't been sponsored. This is just purely what I've used for the past 13 years that has really worked well for me. I've gone through a couple of the handheld brands that I do use is specifically Vortex. I love that brand. They've nailed it down as far as compatibility and simplicity as far as radios is concerned. They really don't overcomplicate things, and the range is wonderful. So for myself, I had to get a little bit more upgraded as far as radios in my pickup were concerned, so I had to upgrade. These are HYTs. These link to my pickup, so I've got communication with anyone in the bush that is linked to the same frequency as these, and then I've got 3 of them, so one for each of my trackers and one for myself, because I like to spread out the workload. So specifically if we're hunting certain species of animals like kudu, and one of the perfect examples was this past week when I did a hunt up in the Committee's Drift area. It's incredibly thick, so the minute you take your eyes off of these bulls, you sort of lose place, and planning hunts and stuff, stalks become incredibly important as far as radios are concerned. I don't care what sort of hunter you are, if you are heading out into the bush without basic communication, you're really setting yourself up for a disaster and a long day out there. There's so many stories of guys going out without any form of communication, spending the whole day out there, not getting any animals, not getting any opportunity. Some guys stuck without water, terrible dehydration. So that's become a really important part of my gear bag, and it's always one of my first items that I pack in. Well, next up, not so much for me, but more for my special little hunting dog, is the Dogtra Pathfinder collars. Dogtra was introduced to me last year by a client, also bought them out from the States. Unfortunately, these are not available in South Africa as of yet. We are working on something, but for now, unfortunately, these are not available. So any one of the major retailers, I think these came from Bass Pro to be precise. What an incredible tool this has become. Guys, I've been hunting for 13 years. Dogs have sort of figured themselves out into the food chain, into the essential part of every PH's life. And without tracking collars, especially in the incredibly thick areas, your dog is absolutely worthless. Get into the animal on time, you can just lose things. And it's so nice. Dogtra have really utilized your phone to the best of their ability. I've posted a couple of things on my social media where I'll be able to track my dog as far as how far it's run, where you can kind of figure it out where it's lost the spoor. But these have become such an important tool in my bag. So these are always first or second items in there, and I don't know where I would be without these. So yeah, big shout out to Dogtra again. no sponsorship or anything like that in these videos, but really they've developed a wonderful product, very cost effective as well. They're not as expensive as some of the leading brands out there, but this incredible tool, and I would highly recommend to anyone that utilizes a blood dog. These are really, really important. Cool guys, well then this was just a little gift for me, made out of whitetail antler, nice little knife that I just carry around. Of course every PH loves to have their knives with them. And yeah, and then as well as the Havalon blades, I've got a pack of these. My tractor's always got 2 handles, so I use a lot of these when we're out there. You never want to give your tracker a blunt knife, and this is why these are so important. Next up, of course, we have the binoculars. These are the Vortex Fury HD rangefinders, covered with a nice little skin cover. I used to walk around with the big front pouch. It just got a little bit too hot for me, and these are just nice and lightweight. If it rains, I just flip the cover over. But really nice and easy to use. Got a beautiful elastic sling to it. Yeah, I just love these binos. I don't know if there's any brands out there that can compete with Vortex's service. And again, no sponsorship here, but I've just been so impressed with Vortex service and just their all-round accessibility. I love these binoculars. I don't think I'll go off of them. And yeah, well, while we're on binoculars, one of the cool little toys it was introduced to me when I was out in the States is this little noggin over here. And this slides onto the front of your binoculars, and you screw it in, and yeah, you can pop it on your tripod, you can pop it on a monopod, and just really just stabilizes your binoculars as far as glassing is concerned. So that's pretty cool. I really enjoy it. For 10x42s, it's not really the greatest, but we've got 18x52s in my other gear bag. I do take them out every now and then if I know I'm going to be spending a lot of time glassing. But yeah, so at this point it's just the 10x42s do the job, and if they can't, we've got the spotting scope, which I'll get into in a moment. Cool guys, well next up I've got my Maven spotting scope. This has been incredible. I've struggled with spotting scopes for some time now. I did do a YouTube video a couple of years ago, I think during lockdown, where I reviewed this. But I've really struggled with spotting scopes. I think my right eye is a little bit lazy. So it takes a bit of time to adjust, and I'm right eye dominant. But this, as far as glassing is concerned, has been unbelievably clear. You guys would have seen on my social media platforms a lot of the footage I've taken of krupels and chasing females and stuff. This was all done just literally with my phone scope and my Maven. Outstanding. I don't leave my house, I don't leave my truck without my Maven, and I love it to bits. It really is just so, the clarity on it is unbelievable. As far as the hard case is concerned, the easy adjusters, it's just all-round fantastic scope. So if you're in the market for a spotting scope, they are a little bit pricey. We had a debate about this. I kind of put them, as far as glass is concerned, on the same category as some of the higher end stuff, but they come with all the perks of the warranties and that. So if you are in the market, go and find your local Maven dealer, get in contact with them and tell them I recommended you. I mean, I like I said, no sponsorship or anything, but what an incredible scope. Very heavy, that's the only downfall to it, but like I said, with all the clips and adjustables on my backpack, it makes carrying it a pleasure. Kitted out with this is the Vanguard Adjustable neck, fitted onto just an field optics tripod. The reason why I went with the Vanguard is that it's one handle accessibility. You loosen it up, you can move it forward, down, up, left or right, and yeah, I love that ability, because once your eyes are inside there, it's just nice to adjust and really just figure out where you need to be and just move along nice and swiftly with wherever the animals are moving to. So yeah, Vanguard really kitted me out with this one. This is a fantastic little setup that I've got here. I'm really happy with this, and yeah, it holds a very special place in my gear bag. Cool, moving along. Not really for rifle hunting, because like I said, I've got the Vortex Razor HD 5000s with the rangefinder in, but there's this little Razor Vortex rangefinder. What an incredible little tool this has become, and probably one of my most important items, especially when I'm bow hunting. Just nice and easy to use, clip and easy, and together with the Treezyn gear, we'll get into that a little bit later, it just makes working with it so much easier as far as the magnetic access and all that's concerned. So yeah, not really for rifle use, but because I am where I am, and I never really take it out of my gear bag, because like I said, I like to be over prepared for any situation. Then of course, probably one of the more common tools in every professional hunter's kit bag is the Leatherman. It's just a standard Leatherman with all the basic pros and cons. This I carry around on a daily basis. It comes with an adjustable little socket set, which is wonderful, especially if you need to adjust anything on your rifle out in the bush. And then of course, this is one company that I really enjoy. It's No Scent. Some would say this has got a bit of a placebo effect, and I don't know, I tend to disagree. I've been out there, used it, I've utilized it in my bow hunting. It's a wonderful setup. It does take away your scent, and I do feel that it really works with probably some of the best technology out there. I use this almost every single time I set foot into the veld. I spray my shoes, I spray my clothing, and then put it on, as well as wash my clothes with the pods. So just every little bit of advantage I can have out there that will set me apart and getting the best results I possibly can for the clients, because at the end of the day, those are the people that are spending the money to come out here and experience this wonderful country of ours, and you want to try and give them the best opportunity as possible. So as long as you're doing everything from your side to get them into the best possible position, there isn't really much excuse that they can use if it didn't really work out. Next up, this was introduced to me last year by a client of mine. Nice little bit of dust inside this little bottle. It's called Dead Downwind. Wonderful. This is really set me apart, especially when I get into valleys. I love using this because it just picks up if there's any wind swirl or anything like that. One of the tricks and the toolbox will be listing a couple of these bottles on, because we found out what we can utilize in there that will give it the same sort of effect, and it is completely odorless. So this is awesome, especially if you're sitting in a blind with the bush pigs or anything like that, and you just really want to just get wind direction to know if you're not wasting your time or setting yourself up for a long evening. So this is a wonderful tool that I use. Again, everything will be listed down in the description. Then of course I've just got some lens cleaners, especially being winter. These lens cleaners particularly they prevent anti-mist. So especially when you're holding your binoculars close to your face, that hot air coming in mists up those binos, and it makes it a little bit difficult for the earlier parts of the morning. As soon as it warms up, it's all back to normal. Then I said I wasn't going to get into firearms, but probably one of the more controversial things in my gear bag is my CZ P10C. It's a 9mm. I actually bought it for protection, but in defense, it has become a nice little tool that I use in finishing off animals. So yeah, I really just carry it around with me. It's quite a bit of a stigma up north to carry a 9mm on your side. I mean, especially this isn't going to stop a lion or buffalo charge or anything like that. So the real reason why you're carrying it on the side, if that's your reason, is not the greatest, but I purely just carry it around just for the finishing off shots, because really, as far as I'm concerned, I want nice, clean, easy kills. And if we get there, and unfortunately that animal is still somewhat semi-alive, I would like to put it out of its misery as quickly as possible, because as myself being a hunter, and I'm sure there's many of you guys out there, killing isn't the nicest part of the hunt for me, and I want it over and done as quickly as possible. So nice little added benefit to it, and of course never needed in the Eastern Cape, the protection aspect of it. But really guys, South Africa's, I know we haven't got the greatest track record when it comes to safety, but we touch wood, we've never had any issue or situation where we've felt we've needed one of these, just purely now just for the hunting side of things. So nice little added benefit to it. Yeah. Once again, I just got some basic ratchet straps. These come in handy, especially when you're out there in the bush, and you need to hang up a carcass, get it off the ground, especially in the heat of the day. You want to try and hang it up underneath a tree in the shade, get it off the ground so there's no bugs and crap like that on it while you make your way back to the pickup, and then come back and fetch your carcass a little bit later. Or it just helps you winch or pull a couple of carcasses up into desired positions and stuff. So really nice little setup. Breaking strain of only 45 kgs, which is about 90 pounds. Isn't the greatest, but you can utilize it a lot on darkers, springback, impala, that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's where I am with that. Sticking to the gear bag, of course you need your everyday spotlight. Yeah, this is 3,500 lumens. These will be listed on the PH toolbox in the coming days. Wonderful, nice little setup. USB charger, so it makes it easy to carry around. Of course, I've got my ammo boxes, ammo inside, and the other one I've got empty for all my casings that I take out. I've started reloading for my 270 because I got the dialing scope now, so I'm just trying to get my loads perfected until otherwise. Then just two basic essential items: sunblock and then Vicks. The Vicks, just a quick story about the Vicks. Change of seasons, you often get a little bit clogged up in the nose and stuff, so I love to carry a tub of Vicks around in my pocket, rub it in my nose just to clear up the airwaves a little bit, or just before I go to bed I rub it underneath my feet. Old wives' tale from my mom. It just opens the chest a little bit, breathe easier, and that way you are in tip-top shape. Of course guys, I don't have any time on this episode to get into some of the nutritional values that I take with me as far as vitamins and all that sort of stuff's concerned. I will get into that at a later point. Just a reminder, this episode is brought to you by PH Toolbox. Once again, massive thank you to everybody that supported us along the way. And the competition for the handcrafted South African wood knife is on the go. All you got to do is subscribe, like, and comment. Comment anything, really, it doesn't matter. I randomly draw 2 winners from the comments below on this specific website. If you haven't yet, go along to our YouTube channel, go and check out all the different episodes as far as hunting is concerned, some of my podcasts, and we've got about 7 or 8 episodes that we still need to upload, just getting into the final editing stages. So yeah, really excited about that. Well, moving along into the gear bag. So the gear bag has probably been one of the more important side of things. So starting off from bottom to top, kitting myself out, of course, just some loafers around the lodge. These have become the best pair of shoes I probably own as far as comfort's concerned, and these are Hey Dudes. Again, no sponsorship. I do want to give a big shout out to Hey Dudes South Africa for kitting me out with a couple of pairs, and I'm really fortunate. If you guys would like to find out more about Hey Dudes in South Africa, head along to Hey Dudes South Africa on any one of the social media platforms, or heydudes.co.za. These are incredible pair of shoes. I love them. I mean, they work so well. kick them off around the fireplace, wear them around the lodge. Really comfortable. I love these pair of shoes. And then next up, this has become probably one of my more passionate pair of items that I've got. These are original faux schooner from Bill Morgan leathers. Guys, what a pair of shoes. I've been a guy that's hunted boots throughout my whole career. I normally go through 2 sets of boots in a season. These, when I went up to go and see Philip and his wife, he tells me when he sent me these pairs, he said, submerge them in water and don't wear socks. And I was like, yes, this can't be true. He said, well, that's how they used to do it. And I said, but they're gonna stink. And he says they won't. He says they've just got this unique way of reacting, breathing, and walking around. These are made traditionally exactly the same way that that the Vortex used to use when exploring in South Africa. Of course, the Vortex are one of 2 groups in the whole world that did massive migrations throughout their representative countries. And yeah, this is outstanding pair of boots. I've wet them, I've worn them in. They are painful to wear for the first 2 days, but thereafter, probably the best pair of shoes I own. I'm so happy about these. They're stylish, they work well in the bush. If they get wet, you just chuck them outside, you put them in this oil. I mean, you just keep wearing them until they dry out, and they just don't stink. There's no odor to them or anything, and they're extremely comfortable, made from some of the premium leather out there. They have just launched a new style called oh geez, I've lost my train of thought now. Anyway, I think it's a McCarthy boot, where it's also just made from one piece of leather. Very cool pair of shoes. I can't wait to wear these again. It's almost like Christmas when I go hunting, because I get to wear all these wonderful gear. But as all this, I just wear as a casual lifestyle shoe. Getting into the gear side, some of the basic stuff that I use. Of course, I've got my PH Journals Beanie. That's nice around the campfire and around, you know, just in and out of the lodge. And then I've got 2 snoods. These are cool in the cold mornings, just to take the chill off your neck. And then getting into the very special gear. Around the campfire, I've got my soft shell Treezyn jacket. I love this jacket. It's down. It's wonderful. It keeps you warm. It's lightweight. It's easy to pack. It's easy to carry around. I wouldn't recommend hunting in it, although I have. But it is subjected to tear on some of the harsh acacia bushes that we have got in the area. More up north into your northern hemisphere side of things, where the trees are softer, I think that will be no problem whatsoever. But really just a great jacket to have around camp. And then into the early season hoodie. This ties in really well with my spotting scope. Easy access pockets with the 1-zip. Semi-waterproof. I love it. It's got a nice fleecy woolly inside that keeps me warm, takes the chill out. I use this on my winter days here in South Africa. I love it to bits. It really is lightweight. It can give me go, and the camo is outstanding, absolutely outstanding. Blends in really well. This was the jacket that I stalked into about 25 yards of a kudu bull a couple of days ago. So I love this jacket, or this hoodie. It's really cool. And then yeah, just getting in basic Treezyn t-shirts that go along the way. Of course, they're made out of probably some of the more premium quality stuff that's out there, and really just something that gets me through the bush at all times. Well guys, that's it from me. Like I said, it's been an incredible journey to share some of the basic essential items that I've got with you, share them with you guys. Has been something very special to me. Like I said, everything's listed down in the description below. If you like this episode, I would really appreciate a thumbs up. Turn on the notifications and hit the subscribe button, and drop a comment on anything that I've missed or anything that you would suggest I should add to my gear bag. That will make all the difference. In the next episode, hopefully we'll have a couple of hunting videos up and soon. If not, we'll be doing a review on some of the carcass bags that I've got going, as well as the shooting sticks, and then maybe touch a little bit on rifles. But that's it for me. If you are, happy hunting. Until then, stay safe, stay blessed, and stay humble. We'll catch up with you guys soon. Have a good one. Cheers, guys.